The Lazy Dads podcast contains lots of swearing. Lots and lots of swearing. You have been warned.
You're listening to the Lazy Dad's Guide to Movies in association with The Session Booth, your one-stop shop for video production, social media management and graphic design. Derek, unload a jingle all over me.
Insert theme song here.
Lazy Dad, Lazy Dad, Lazy Dad, Lazy Dad.
And we're back.
And we are back at long
2 weeks.
last. It's been 3 weeks since we've recorded, 2 weeks since we've released. We are sans Mr. Shields today.
We have to get Mr. Shields back.
Yeah,
it
he's here.
feels like we haven't finished what
I
we
know,
need.
yeah.
It's like,
We could have been made a 10-parter out of
to be
that.
Kevin Shields. We've had Kevin Shields part 1,
Yeah.
Kevin Shields part 2, Kevin Shields part 3.
The Revengering. Watch out, wasps.
More talk, more shy,
Yeah.
more Kevin.
More phone calls.
Phone calls, yeah. How dare he?
I know, yeah. Taking a phone call.
In fact, actually, now that you mention it, let's fucking not get Kevin back on.
No,
he's a
never.
cunt. He's a horror.
No.
No, we'll get him back on. We'll have him back on. He's a nice lad.
And if he's listening, turn it off right now.
Turn it off.
You're no longer allowed to listen to us.
Couple of shout outs
Yeah.
I have to do. Oh, hold on. There's one shout out that I forgot to get the missus to give me a name to shout out.
I would like to
I'll come back to that.
yeah.
I'll come back to that.
I would like
But-
to shout out to the states of Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, New Jersey, and 8 minutes of West Virginia. That fucked me right up for the last week. I went on an American road trip. Fucked me up. I'm broken.
Broken man.
Broken. A lot of drinking, a lot of driving.
There's a lot of life got out of your eyes, in fairness.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. I put a lot of weight on. So America fucked me up. But I did get to watch a couple of movies on the plane.
Can I finish my shout outs before we
Yeah,
get to
no,
films?
you go.
Major shout out to Mr. Barry Evans, modeller extraordinaire, and actually kind of relevant because this lad builds models, but it's more TV and movie show models and stuff. Like he done the the Wallace and Gromit fan. He done that one year and entered it into the International Plastic Modelling Society Irish branch chapter fucking nationals there last September, and it won. I can't remember where it came from. It won. Fantastic modeler, amazing stuff. And I only said because I know he'd be listening to us, but Barry's been a great support. He's been listening to a lot of the episodes, and we much appreciate you having me, Barry. And another one of our number one fans, Derek, by the name of. You have to do a little shout out for Anya Kelly.
Anya Kelly.
Anya Kelly worked with my missus. And this is a cool shit. She's been listening to our podcasts and she was buying a rake of shite from Wish.com, as women are prone to do.
Yeah, like
buying
female
of shite.
bladders and stuff.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, those things that suck out your lips.
Or toilets that you can put in your sock.
Yeah, absolutely.
All that sort of crack. But she bought me a Darth Vader bottle opener, which we will have to use.
Opening bottles.
Opening bottles of beer at our next Lazy Dad's Going to Movies get together.
I actually have an R2D2 bottle opener my brother-in-law bought me. I haven't opened a single beer with it yet, but it doubles as a spanner.
Of course it does. But Star Wars is fucking marketed and printed on everything at this stage. But thanks, guys, for listening.
Yeah, thanks a million. Really appreciate it.
Right, what's your films? What are we talking about?
Well, because I was away for a week, I actually didn't get to watch that much, but I watched a couple on planes, and I love watching films on planes. Sometimes they can be a bit cut, and one of the ones I watched was a little bit cut.
What was it?
It was called Bad Times, the El Royale.
This is one you were. Did you ask me about this?
I did ask you about this.
Okay, I was on the phone the other day. I didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah, Bad Times, the El Royale. It's imagine.
Can you say that a bit slower, actually? Because I still am getting everything here. Bad Times at the
El Royale.
El Royale. Okay.
Yeah. So the El Royale is a hotel, and 7 kind of strangers turn up, and it's about them interacting with each other in this hotel, and there's an overarching storyline, and everyone has their own reasons for being there in bits and pieces. And it's imagine Quentin Tarantino made a film and I liked it. And there's one scene of kind of almost semi-pretentious dialogue, and I thought, oh no, we're going down the Tarantino route here, and they didn't.
Tarantino, can I just say, Tarantino writes amazing fucking dialogue. He does.
Can I just point out, I actually like the look of his new film.
Once
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, it looks great.
I actually like the look of that because I don't. It's like the Hateful Eight, as in they all get together and they all have their own reasons for being there or whatever.
This is your film,
Bad Times, and then it has the best soundtrack I've ever heard.
Who directed
it? Drew Goddard is his name.
Oh, I know Drew Goddard. He's a comedian.
I can't remember what else he did, but I looked it up after and I completely forgot. But yeah, I watched that. I watched Bumblebee, the Transformers film.
And he was?
Really enjoyed it.
Class.
Imagine Michael Bay's Transformer films with a bit more heart and a bit less overt sexuality.
A bit less fucking slow moving fucking camera going like along like a desert fucking road where the protagonist is driving off towards the sun because he's nothing else to do in his life.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's based in the 80s. Your one in it is your one out of True Grit. Remember?
Set in the 80s, is it?
Set in the 80s, yeah.
Is it in the same universe as Bay's Transformers?
No, it has the original Generation 1 Transformers.
Oh,
so
cool.
it has like Shockwave, Soundwave,
deadly.
Optimus Prime. The jet in it looked like it was Starscream, but it's not. It's Blitzwing. But it's fucking brilliant. It's the best Transformers film by a fucking long shot.
And Optimus is your man's voice again from the cartoon?
Absolutely, yeah. Your one in it is your one from True Grit. She's not as annoying as Shia LaBeouf, and the director doesn't make her bend over cars every 15 seconds to show off her little toned stomach, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which really bugged me about.
But the height are weird deformed thumb.
Yeah.
Do you ever see who weird deformed? What's your one out of the first couple of Transformers films?
No.
Is this, what's her
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
She's a weird deformed
She's a weird thumb, yeah, check it out.
Okay.
You just wouldn't after seeing the thumb.
I was going to Google. It's like your man Jeremy Beadle with his tiny hand.
Put out Jeremy, yeah. No, it's not that bad now, in fairness, but it looks weird.
The third film I watched, I needed several showers after this. It was Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, what a fucking film.
What?
It's so gritty, isn't it?
Fucking film.
You might as well just go up and fucking spade of a big lump of dirt out of your back garden and lash it onto your DVD player. That's effectively what that film is.
I had to stop.
It's brilliant though.
I had to pause to go to the Jacks, and I said to myself, this is about 15 minutes into this. It was 45 minutes into it.
Wow.
It is a slow burner, but
it goes, doesn't it?
It goes, and fuck me. Vince Vaughn, I watched Dodgeball on the plane as well, just because I needed an hour and a half to kill, and I couldn't find anything that I really wanted to get stuck into. It's fine.
Dodgeball's a bit fun,
it's
yeah.
Dodgeball, do you know what I mean? It's fine. But then I watched Brawl in Cell Block 99, and Vince Vaughn is just...
You didn't watch Brawl on the plane, did you?
No, I watched that at home. I watched that at home. There's one, like, the stupid bits cut on plane films, which I can live with. Like, I watched Spider-Man Homecoming on a plane, and they obviously cut out the plane crash at the end, but I kind of knew that it happened, you know what I mean? Because they're on a plane and they're on the ground.
And you couldn't have censorship. You can't stand over it at all.
Yeah, and I
can't deal with it.
It's not that I can understand it. It's just watching a film on a plane, I'm able to fully immerse myself in it, you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to get any distractions. I'm sitting on a fucking plane, I have nowhere else to go. So, apart from my food being served to me, of course. But I watched that Bad Times the El Royale, and there was a couple of bits of violence cut, but then there was a couple of bits of violence which weren't cut, which was confusing.
Yeah, the planes are weird. Like, I remember putting on, I think it was Jurassic World on the plane trip to New York there back in November.
Yeah.
There was elements cut out of that. Some of the more violent parts were cut out of that. But then, like, on the very same library of stuff to view on the plane was Aer Lingus. I put on like The Walking Dead, and there's bodies being ripped to shreds, and I was like, "What the fuck? That makes no sense." It must be timing, but then why would they edit out like the violent parts and just leave the blah 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 blah? Yeah. I don't know. Any kind of censorship? No, not into it at all. It's ridiculous.
There's two kinds of gunshot. The two scenes of gunshots in Bad Times the El Royale, which they cut, and then there's 7 or 8 scenes that they didn't. And then one of the women sign in. This isn't a spoiler. And signs in on the ledger saying, "Fuck you." But they obviously clearly changed it to "screw you," because you can actually see the bit of edited text kind of floating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean,
screw was superimposed in over fuck. Like.
Yeah, and it is what it is. I mean, it
no,
doesn't.
I mean, you can't. Can I cross for a second? I have to push back. You can't. You can't have that attitude with censorship. Censorship is fucking wrong in every single regard. Like,
while I agree with you. In certain cases, like if Channel 4 showed that, say, we'll just say Channel 4 for example, RT, Netflix, anybody showed that and it was censored, you would say, hang on here a fucking second. You stick it on a fucking plane because it's a private thing. The movies, I feel, but having films on a plane is a fucking luxury. So you just take what you get. Because believe me, if you're sitting on a 4 or 5 hour flight with nothing to do,
no, it's not a luxury. You're getting what you pay for.
Not necessarily.
You pay for Aer Lingus, which is a good carrier. In fairness, I've never had a problem with their service and everything else. But you're paying for that flight, and to pay for their ticket for that flight. Part of the reason why you would do that is that there is relevant in-flight entertainment, and you would expect that you would sit down and watch a film, which is an artistic expression, regardless of what kind of film you think it is. One way or the other, it's an artistic expression, and it is being censored by somebody who believes that they have the moral power over you to tell you what you can and can't watch. And I know you might say to me, "Oh, well, it's because there might be kids sitting beside whatever else."
No,
there's easier ways around that. There's pins and there's all sorts of stuff you can do.
I disagree with the kids thing, because
to get around
you can put a parental lock on it, because the first thing comes up and says.
So therefore, censorship should be absolutely no way. I get really pissed off at Netflix as well when they. Excuse me, hold on a sec.
Ew.
I get that's one for Netflix for putting beeps over the curse words in Rick and Morty. That drives me up the fucking wall. Does
part of the show.
No. Some of the Blu-rays of them are uncensored.
Right. Yeah. No, I assumed it was part of the show. I've only ever watched it on Netflix.
No. I've definitely watched Rick and Morty, like whether it was streamed or downloaded one or other. That's another thing. It's pushing me to fucking to illegally obtain that, to listen to it in its proper fucking guise. And the people who make them shows should take a stronger stance against that, because it is an adult show. Using the argument that it's actually animated, it's beside the point. That makes no sense whatsoever. You know, it's an adult show regardless of how it's filmed, animated, fucking directed, or whatever the case may be. Therefore it has adult themes, therefore it has adult language in it, therefore it should not be fucking censored.
Well, Netflix is set up in such a manner that you can set up that your kids can only watch the kids.
That as well. We already have the power to enforce what we want our kids to watch as kids. So leave the adult stuff to the adults, please, and stop telling us what we can and can't hear or watch.
You've seen my Blu-ray collection. You see the way on the second shelf all the kids shit is, and then the very bottom shelf where they can't reach it, I assume, it's like the Terminator and the horror film.
I actually store fucking a Serbian film, but I stored that in my son's room, like, you know what I mean, right beside the Blu-ray player and the telly that's set up in his room
under his pillow. I still haven't seen that. I don't want to watch it, man.
No,
I don't want to watch it.
I watched it once. I never watched it.
Don't want to watch it. No.
But having said that, with that film, there is a Serbian film that is. And if anybody out there has watched the Serbian film, you'll understand what I'm going to say.
Fuck you, wash yourselves.
Anybody who doesn't, to give a very brief synopsis of a Serbian film, it's about an aging porn star who's kind of running out of money and he's down on his luck, and this rich guy approaches him to do one more porn movie and he'll pay him a lot of money for it. But what happens is literally just this one horrible, nasty scene after the next, mounting in its nastiness. It gets nastier and nastier and nastier each time, and all these horrible different things. But excuse me, which includes all different forms of fucking rape and torture and bleeding, all sorts of horrible stuff. But the idea behind it is, what the director was trying to say was that Serbia, the country itself, apparently don't know anything about Serbia, so you're taking this again as a kind of somewhat of an artistic expression.
I assume he's Serbian.
He is, yeah. Where Serbia, the country, the way it's ruled and governed at the moment is that you get raped when you're born. Something like that happens in the film. You get raped while you're trying to work, and then when you die, you get raped as well by the country. That's the idea of it. So the baddies in it are like the fucking power in Serbia. Well, the characters in it are the ones who are being fucking manipulated and fucked around by the baddies, which is Serbia. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So when I watched that, I couldn't accept the fact that would just be a film that would be made for no reason. I had to actually source out and see what was going on here.
Yeah.
And that's the idea behind it. Still doesn't make me want to ever watch it ever again, to be honest.
Yeah. It's not something I think will ever cross my path. I have 2 hours to kill. I'm not going to watch something like that. I've heard too many reports of how just downright nasty it is.
Yeah, it's really nasty.
And you talk about censorship, and don't ban things like that. Just don't fucking watch them.
Just don't watch them.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It is very clearly labelled what it is. It's very. It's you know what you're getting into before you press play. So whether you want to watch that or not, that is your decision right there, right then. It's not. It should not ever be anybody else's. But getting off of that subject anyway, because we're getting too.
Let's move back onto Harvey Weinstein.
We're getting too wanky there, Rick. We're not a wanky channel.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Couple of things since we've been away. First thing, when I was in Portugal, when we've been the 3rd or 4th day I was in Portugal, I was fucking bollocks because we'd walked everywhere, and there was this I've been hearing about this fucking Chinese. I know this is in movies, whatever, but there's this Chinese where we stayed in Baloya Golf Village, and you walk out of Baloya and take a right and walk for about 15-20 minutes towards the strip. Now it's a little bit dingy down there. It's very touristy orientated. There's a lot of gangs of people drinking and all this sort of crap. But anyway, if you walk in that way, there's a Chinese down there called, I think it's called the Happy Palace or the Happy House. I think it might be the Happy House. Regardless,
that sounds like a Chinese you'd find in Portugal, in fairness.
You walk in anyway, and it has this massive big fucking buffet. I mean, like this huge buffet. And it's 12 quid each, and you stay there as long as you want. Pints of Superbock are €1.90 or €2 or something.
Oh yeah.
And the Superbock is a lovely crisp beer when it's out of tap. It's gorgeous. But it's there's your plate. Go and help yourself, and it has everything, like everything from chili pork to fucking duck pancakes. And then it has a fellow up then making fresh sushi, so you can just fill up with all this sushi, and it's just unbelievable. Anyway, long story short, that's why it would make you walk 20 minutes to get to it, like, you know. So we spent 2 nights down there. But anyway, one night we walked back, I was just, my stomach was ready to fucking explode. I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die from eating too much. And I lay down on the couch thing, and I turned the telly on, and they had great sequences. I even had RT1 and everything over there. It had everything. And was a film for Cocoon that just started. I haven't seen Cocoon in fucking ages. Probably when I was a kid. So I started watching it, and then I started really getting into it. Then I was really enjoying it. I know it's a somewhat of a renowned film, but I never really. But Cocoon, like, it's a soft sci-fi movie. When I sit down and watch sci-fi movie, I want to watch fucking Predator or something.
Yeah.
But I sat down, I was watching it anyway, and I was getting really into it. I was getting really, like, you know, it's Brian Dennehy, isn't it? Brian Dennehy. He's one of the main characters in it, and I didn't realise how kind of in depth and detailed their reasoning for what they were doing was. Again, I attribute this to Ron Howard and his attention to detail. He's a fantastic attention to detail, which is what I'm going to talk about now in a second for subtle directing, which is what I'm going to try and link back into Solo now in a few minutes. But him coming into Solo, but I was getting really into the storyline, and Brian Dennehy and the girl he was with, and I think one other, turns out that they're aliens. I can't remember what the alien race is called, but they once had an outpost on Earth, like centuries ago, thousands of years ago. It turned out that outpost was actually Atlantis, and it got swallowed up in the sea, whatever was going on. But there was like 12 of their race stayed back to look after the evacuation. They were a peaceful race, they were just colonising planets. But when the waters came in, they cocooned themselves, and they have a life force that keeps them alive inside the cocoon. So the idea being then that they could stay alive in the cocoon. Brian Dennehy will come back then, like, you know, years and years and years later, thousands of years later, when they get back to their home world, and then launch a rescue party to come back. It would take thousands of years to get back there, blah blah blah. Long story short, they also seem to be immortal as well because of the life cycle. But he rescues a couple of the cocoons and puts them in the swimming pool where all the old folks are swimming. What's his name?
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley, and what's the other guy's name? Fantastic actor.
Jack Lemmon, is it?
No. The skinny guy.
I know your man is talking about. Yeah. Fuck.
Don.
He's in Trading Places.
Yeah, him. Don. It's Lemure or something like that. Hold on.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to continue without looking him up on IMDb here.
We need to keep IMDb open at all times.
Don Amici.
Yes, yeah. Correct.
And they're swimming in the pool, and they're starting to get full of life, and they're starting to feel like they're younger and everything. It's because the life force and the cocoon pods are giving them a restorative feeling or whatever. And there's a heartbreaking scene then where you figure out what's going on now at this stage, where all the old folks then, they get the hump with the rest of them swimming in the pool, and all of a sudden get this new lease of life. That they all storm at the pool and jump in, and what happens is they fucking lift up one of the cocoons and crack it open. Brian Dennehy runs in, and there's one of the poor aliens then, because it's been cracked open too soon, he starts to die. And that was Brian Dennehy's first ever, as the character, as the alien character, his first ever experience of suffering what it feels to lose someone.
Yeah.
So he goes mad then, because they're all in the fucking, it's like, get the fuck out of the pool, these are gonna kill all these all sacrifice themselves to save thousands of their brethren, blah blah blah, whatever. But there's a bit in it anyway where Wilford Brimley has a great relationship with his grandson. His grandson's a bit of an introvert, a bit of a recluse, won't play with his own friends, and has no real friends, and his real friend is his granddad.
Yeah. And
you see them out fishing, and he's talking to them and trying to tell them that, like, you know, you have to, you know, talk to your own age and your people your own age and all this sort of crack.
You little fuck.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Knees him in the balls then. Anyway, long story short, Wilford Brimley has to go and get his eyes tested to renew his driver's license. So he goes in, you see him doing his eye test, he completely and utterly fails his eye test, so they revoke his driving license, and he's absolutely heartbroken over it. But this is the scene. He goes back to his house, right, and he has this lovely kind of old Cadillac car. It's like his pride and joy, and now he can't drive it anymore, so he has to cover it up. And he covers it up, and as I'm watching him covering it up, I goes, I recognise what he's covering that with. He never says it. It's entirely left up to you, but the camera kind of pulls back a little bit, and it turns out that he's covering it with a parachute.
Oh yeah.
Which, in that one little scene, then tells us actually he's a paratrooper from World War II.
Yeah.
He survived and brought his parachute home, and now he's using it to cover his car. And I thought, what a scene!
Yeah.
What a scene! Like that's because the scene was well gone by the time it all dawned on me. I was like, what a piece of directing! That's absolutely stunning.
You're too busy thinking about beating up his grandchild.
But you know what I mean? Like I just love those little bits of directing where like that one scene told me so much about Brimley's character. His character developed like an extra 40% of what it was. Like coming up with a figure sounds stupid, but you know what I mean? And it was just brilliant. And then the story continues on. I was like, that's just a fucking great scene. But then I started thinking about Ron Howard. I started thinking about Apollo 13, how detailed that was and everything else. Then I started thinking then when he came into Solo, and you've heard me rant on the show before, in a positive rant on the show before, about how detailed Solo was for fans.
Yeah.
How it had like the shipbuilding the yards in Corellia where you see them lifting the shield generators up into lower orbit to attach the Star Destroyer that's been built, and then you see all the midway pods from the TIE fighters then all loaded up on big huge fucking docks and stuff. All these little things. You hear one of the guys at and say, why don't we just go and ask Bosk to help us on the next job? And we're all the Star Wars fans like, we know fucking Bosk, like, the sort of crack. I thought that was that, I thought that level of detail, level of attention like is brilliant, and that's very subtle. It's all subtle, like, and I'm getting really curious now about Ron Howard. I really want to watch the rest of his stuff to see if there's other scenes like that. I thought it was phenomenal. Anyway, I watched the rest of Cocoon, and by the end of it I was like, this is a fucking brilliant film. Yeah, it was a really, really good film.
I remember, actually, funny talk about Ron Howard there. I remember years and years ago watching Apollo 13 as a child. I didn't really like it because it was almost a procedural kind of jobby. I watched it then after. Loved it.
When you're older, like,
exactly.
Wow, it's
brilliant. And I love Tom Hanks. I love him in everything I've ever seen him in. Even like Road to Perdition is one of the best gangster films I've ever seen.
Road to Perdition is fucking brilliant. Yeah, that's a great film.
That was Ron Howard. No, it wasn't Ron Howard.
That was your man. I wouldn't even take a flyer. No,
that was your man who did Bond.
Look it up.
Which man who did Bond?
Road to Perdition. Hold on.
I was going to do Bond. Sam Mendes, is it?
If my phone would just hurry up. Road to Perdition. There it is. Alright, let's see. Directed by... Oh God. Produced by Richard E. Zanuck, who produced Jaws.
Oh,
funny enough.
Didn't know that.
Now, if I could just find you the director, though. Oh, yeah, you're right, Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes,
yeah. That's a great film. I don't know why he did this. James Bond was shy.
Which one is this James Bond?
Fucking... Well, if you just turn it to morons that they come back off the holiday.
Skyfall.
Which one did he do?
Actually, funny talk about Road to Perdition. That's where I was in America. Was at the Indy 500, where Paul Newman would have been.
Oh, he was at the Indy 500.
Quite prevalent,
yeah. And he done Spectre as well.
Oh, did he?
I didn't
look. Spectre.
James Bond. I did. Skyfall annoyed me so much that I just couldn't watch Spectre.
Skyfall. Is that the one I thought?
That's the one with what's his face with his mad jaw, and he's a great actor from No Country for Old Men.
Oh, fucking Bardem.
Bardem, Javier Bardem.
Is that the one where he has the weird kind of...
He takes the jaw because his jaw disintegrates.
Fucking scene. I
stupid baddie as well he was.
Oh, John Cena.
Oh, how the train was timed exactly to smash through the wall right when James Bond was standing there.
No, this is worse. When he has James Bond tied up in the chair and he starts rubbing the inside of his thighs and stuff.
Oh no, there was so much that film was stupid. Yeah. Like, you went from Casino Royale, which just blew the lights out. I thought Casino Royale was brilliant.
Yeah, Casino Royale was brilliant.
Everybody gives out about Quantum of Solace, but realising that Quantum of Solace is a direct continuation of Casino Royale.
You've said that a couple of times.
Directly. It continues on from the last fucking scene.
No, I haven't seen it, so I must...
and chasing down the Quantum. I thought the idea of the Quantum was great as well. All these like really powerful fucking business magnates who are trying to rule the world. I thought that was like the new Spectre.
Yeah. Respect.
But no, when you got the Skyfall, like just the fuck, there's so many stupid. It was all quality and no, it was all style and no substance.
Yeah.
There was no real like the bit like where they remember they retreat up to the big fucking mansion, the Bond mansion.
Skyfall. Albert Finney's there.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing his best Brian Blessed impersonation,
polishing like shotguns and stuff like. So James Bond's going to use old fucking blunderbusses to fight.
He will.
But they come along in big choppers, like instead of fucking watching them Q getting on the phone, say here, look, send up a couple of F-16 Raptors here, or Eurofighter Typhoons, and take these cunts out.
Yeah,
game over, like.
Yeah.
But there was no even real like. There was like the motivations to the baddie. He just wanted to kill off all the agents because he bit a cyanide capsule one time and it didn't work.
Yeah.
It's your own fucking fault, like.
Exactly, yeah, you fucking dope.
You fucking dope. But you remember the scene then where they're having their
Brian Dennehy hit him a few slaps and Wilford Brimley.
Do you know Wilford Brimley would be the perfect Bond villain.
Can I just point out,
you can't kill him.
Wilford Brimley has been the same age since the 1980s. Cocoon was 86, 85.
Wilford Brimley was born looking like he was.
Remember him in Hard Target? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jesus, yeah. But here, there's one film that he doesn't look like Wilford Brimley in.
What is it?
Because when you think of his character, he doesn't come across like Wilford Brimley. He comes across like his character. Blair. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, yes. Yeah, but he still looks the fucking same.
He doesn't have his beard around.
No, but he still looks the same age. He's still
same age. Oh yeah, no, he like the man's unbelievable.
He's like Keanu Reeves, except for old.
He's an advocate for cockfighting.
What?
Wilford Brimley is an advocate for cockfighting. We're writing this down because if you want to do a little bit of research in this, because I'd hate to be saying anything wrong about Wilford Brimley because he is a legend, but I'm 98% certain he's an advocate for cockfighting.
I just actually it's funny. I was going to call the episode that. It's funny. It's funny. I was just reading there the other day. Apparently, if you mention Donald Trump in a podcast, the listenership goes up. So he's visiting Ireland. Donald Trump.
Where's he going? What's his?
He's going to Donald Trump's place down in.
Who's visiting Ireland again?
Donald Trump.
Who's the president of America?
Donald Trump. He came back in the same flight as me. It's great.
What?
He came back in the same flight as me. We shared the gin and tonic.
Did you have a chat with him? Did you?
I did. He's alright.
Sort him out.
He's alright.
Did he drink it like that with two hands all shaking and shit? Like
no, that was me. I had one in each hand.
But yeah, going to Wilford Brimley, bit of a legend.
He's deadly.
Gets his power from his diabetes, I think.
Gets his power from his diabetes. Yeah.
What's his face got his power from his hair?
Oh, Samson.
If you cure Wilford Brimley's diabetes, he'll die.
Oh no, not a cure for diabetes.
Where are we going before that?
Oh, I actually can't remember. Yeah, did you see the trailer for the new Fast and Furious film?
I saw it. I went to the cinema. What did I go to the cinema to see? Is that the start of Avengers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous.
That looks like the most amazing film I've never seen.
It looks as ridiculous as my new telly in my sitting room.
Yeah, I know. In case you've noticed, Joe bought a new telly.
I got a new telly. It's up on the Facebook page. I got a rake of tax back and I said, do you know what Joe's doing? Do you know what I'm doing? I said, I'm going to get a new fucking telly. So a little bit of research and bought the Samsung NU8000 65-inch Ultra HD 4K telly, and I'm fucking delighted with myself.
Does it have that motion smoothing thing?
It has fucking everything on it. This thing.
But that motion smoothing you're supposed to get rid of.
You can turn it on and off.
Yeah.
It's not called motion smoothing on the sound. It's called something else. But you can turn it on and off. Like.
But apparently you're supposed to watch films without it. Now I've seen Commando with it on, and it gives me a headache.
Mine is automatically turned off. That particular setting is automatically turned off. But no, it has loads of great features, like particularly for gaming.
Yeah.
It has like variable refresh rates and one of the lowest input lags you can get, like for all that sort of stuff. Like it's really, really cool.
As you've seen my TV and heard my TV, I really need to replace it.
What's wrong with it?
It sounds gone. The speakers are gone.
What, this one here?
Yeah. But I don't have room for another TV because I'm not a rich man like you. I'm just a poor podcasting student, Joe.
But you are a scientist, though.
I'm a scientist, yeah, but I'm still a student, technically. Although I get a student discount.
You might get a student discount. There's loads of deals coming on. You can get a great fucking telly. There's a 70-inch down there now in DID for €1,000.
Yeah. No, I'm going to get it.
70 inches. But you can hang it up in the fucking... You actually have the perfect sitting room to hang it up on the wall. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Right over your fireplace.
No, I will. I'm going to buy a new TV.
Stick an old sound bar underneath that now, hi.
Buy a new TV. Oh, yeah. I finally got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on Blu-ray after ordering it back in April. You pre-ordered it? I pre-ordered it and I got it straight away, downloaded to the Skybox. And then they sent me out a DVD, which I didn't know I ordered a Blu-ray. So first of all, the Blu-ray didn't arrive, and I rang them, and they said, "Oh yeah, I'll send it out today." It's grand, yeah. So they sent me an email saying it's been shipped again. It arrived, it was a DVD. I was like, for fuck's sake. So I rang them up and I said it to them. I said, "Alright, grand, I'll ship it out to you again." So while I was away, it arrived, but it was to be signed for. The DVD just fucked it through the letterbox.
Oh yeah.
The Blu-ray had signed for it, so to fucking drive down to the post office then and pick it up. And I had to buy stamps, and I went down to the post office and said, "You sell stamps here?" "No." "Why? You're a fucking post office."
That's a collection office, and that's where you pick it up, isn't it?
And
the man says, "We sell it there."
The man says, "Oh, we stopped doing them at Christmas." Why? It's a fucking post office.
You would think that the service would be there.
And then I went to the post office, right? There's 6 people in the queue ahead of me.
There's one in Clonsilla?
No, the one in Blanchardstown Shopping Centre.
Oh yeah, no,
6 people in the queue ahead of me. There's 3 people serving. Half an hour later, there was nobody serving and 4 people in the queue ahead of me.
Fucking bastard.
I was there for fucking ages to buy 2 fucking stamps.
You give out an out shout, did you?
Hey! I went up and said, "Hi, Lazy Dad's Guide to Movies here." And
they were like, "Oh, so sorry, are you there, Joe?" "I'm there." "Come on, we got a sorted for you."
It's good to know what you finally look like.
Yeah. But going back to me telly and me setup, I now have a 4K Blu-ray player.
Oh yeah.
And I have a note down here. This is kind of going full circle back to Ron Howard and Solo there a minute ago. I watched Solo in 4K.
Oh yeah.
And it just blew me nips off. I couldn't believe the detail. Do you remember the scene where in Solo where they're stealing the coaxium? It's the heist scene.
Oh yeah.
And Solo and his crew are
that.
pulling her off this way, and Memphis Ness and her crew are pulling it this way, and Solo drops it and it falls into the mountain, and it just goes boom, when it goes into a singularity and it pulls the mountain in on top of itself. Just watching that, I was like, it was glorious. It's actually exhilarating seeing stuff like that, seeing all the vibrancy of the colours and shit like that. I was watching Planet Earth 2 in 4K and Ultra HD as well.
Oh, the David Attenborough thing.
Yeah, and I'm saying, what this is what you've been missing, like, you know, this looks fucking amazing.
You see, I know I said I've had my problems with Solo, but one thing I cannot argue about every second of film is it looks the fucking tits.
Oh, it's class.
Everything looks amazing. Like it does.
It's a great Star Wars film.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the worst. I enjoyed it, but I have my problems with it. I'm not going back over them again. I said the first 20 minutes dropped them for me. Other than that, perfect. Not perfect, but
as Kevin Shields says, that's not an opinion there. You're just playing wrong. Not joking. But I went all out, and I was in town then for Thursday last.
Yeah.
And you remember I went off on a big rant about Studio Canal releasing the John Carpenter stuff, and I bought the Prince of Darkness box set, remember?
Yeah.
And how good of an upgrade it was in Blu-ray. It looked absolutely spectacular. Well, I went in on spec, whichever, into Terror Records, just to see if they had They Live. I knew that They Live and Prince of Darkness had been released around the same time.
Yeah.
But I also knew that Escape from New York and The Fog have been sold out. If anybody's listening there and can steer me in the right direction to getting the Studio Canal box set, collector's editions of The Fog and Escape from New York, please get in touch. Anyway, I picked up They Live. It was €40. That lovely big box that comes with the art cards. Comes with the soundtrack,
you stuck it on Facebook.
The Blu-ray, a separate disc then for all the bonus features, and then the Ultra HD. Now, first I'll talk about the film. I ended up watching that in Blu-ray and not 4K, and I'll tell you why now in a minute. But I watched the Blu-ray upgrade of They Live, and it blew me away. I couldn't believe how good it looked. Just a fantastic upgrade that Studio Canal have done to those, well, particularly the 2 films I've seen, Prince of Darkness and They Live. But They Live is so apt. Do you remember They Live, do you?
I do. The funny thing was, I saw it written on your notes there. I was about to say, it was on TV on one of the sci-fi channels or something a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember why. I was knackered, I think it was on midnight, and I watched a few minutes of it. And I haven't watched it in a while, and I meant to go back and watch it actually before we recorded here. I just haven't had a chance. I was away for the weekend as well. I remember watching that film. I fucking loved it.
Oh, the premise of it, like, it's so apt to today. Like, when he puts the glasses on, obviously the usual thing is, like, you know, he puts a glass on. All of the billboard advertisements show the subliminal messaging that they're trying to put across. Like, so a big huge billboard that's like for a holiday away to the Bahamas, he puts the glasses on and it says reproduce and consume.
Yeah.
And then something else will say fucking believe in your authority, believe in well, no, hold on, believe in the authority or something along them lines, and then you'll have consume, and then you'll have fucking all these different subliminal messages. But it's everywhere. Every piece of media that you pick up, every magazine, every billboard, the news, all the news is all fake news read out by the aliens, like, you know, posing as the humans and all that sort of stuff. And there's so much sinister stuff going on, like the aliens themselves. There's suggestions then that the aliens are using the humans to breed with and all the sort of horrible shit that's going on. But it was just great watching it again, because it's something that, like, John Carpenter's great for having these amazing premises and then just doing really what he wants with them, like, you know. And I love that. And just having that 10-minute fight scene with Roddy Piper and Keith David, it's just fucking brilliant. But seeing it in, like, fucking the clarity of, like, Blu-ray, it was great to see again. I was exhilarated watching it, and it's just so much fun. But again, so fucking apt. Like the John Carpenter, honestly, a director way ahead of his time. Like, you know, and to have him treated the way he was, particularly after The Fog, effectively, or not The Fog, The Thing, effectively flopped, and he lost his deal then with the Universe, I think it was, and he lost the ability. I think Firestarter was his next. Stephen King's Firestarter was his next one he was going to do, and blah 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 blah. All these different things he was lined up to do, and he took the failure of The Thing really to heart, and how he was treated so much, like, afterwards, like, you know what I mean, and how he had to kind of carve out then some of the independent films like They Live and so on. It's really horrible that he was treated, and it's only, you know, in the last, like, couple of years, or certainly from the mid-90s onwards, people have realised that actually these films are fucking amazing. They have great ideas, great premises. Every one of them have some kind of, they satire something, or they're a satire to something, should I say. You know, his films will never age because they have that message in them. Do you know what I mean? And it's really sad that he was treated that way. It'd be funny. What's funny? It'd be amazing to think what we might have today if The Thing, say, was a major success.
But would we have what he had released then, or would we have?
I'm sure you'd have more, because he would have had more fun than he would have had more. He said that himself. Like, he would have been able to actually make bigger films.
I'm
like, you know,
not entirely sure, because I think he did what he did with what he had, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? He made the best of what he had, and I think that's what makes his film so good, is because
after The Thing, though, it never reached the heights of The Thing and Big Trouble and Escape from New York and everything else. Because after that, then They Live is great, but it never got anywhere near, like, the kind of quality and kind of budgets of the other films. And then he done, like, you know, Escape from LA, which is okay, and then he done
Ghosts of Mars.
Ghosts of Mars was terrible. Vampires is a bit of fun.
That's the one with James Woods, isn't it?
James Woods, yeah. The best of his films after, say, The Thing and kind of his 80s output, Christine was phenomenal, but the best of his film would have been In the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill. That was phenomenal. Then he done The Ward, and then he you know, so it really petered out. But then when he's given that kind of creative freedom where he can do whatever he wants, he does the 2 Masters of Horror episodes, which are just fucking brilliant.
Well, you see, I think he almost stabbed himself in the foot with the way he treated Halloween. Now, he shouldn't have been told you have to make fucking 3 of these or whatever. But on the other point, he
had a great idea for Halloween. He didn't want to
for the anthology films.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
Don't get me wrong. I think Halloween 3 is fucking deadly. I can't really remember Halloween 3.
He produced Halloween 3, he didn't direct it.
Did he not? Sorry,
but it was his idea.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want Michael Myers thing to continue on. So his idea was, right, Halloween 3 is going to be something completely fucking different. They're going to throw everybody off, going to call a Season of the Witch, and then every Halloween to be a new film based on something else. You might have next one be fucking zombies next year, something like that. Great idea. Yeah.
I love anthologies, things like that. Like that Masters of Horror. Like the idea of Cloverfield. I like the idea of the Cloverfield anthology.
Just making it
more than I like the
having a premise anthology. And make it new each time.
Yeah, even doesn't have to be like, look at fucking the Cornetto trilogy.
What's the Cornetto trilogy?
The Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Oh yes.
They're 3 completely different films. There's some similarities between the cast. There's some similarities between the characters. Obviously, the cast more or less the same. Some similarities between the characters. Some similarities between the teams. There's always a bit of an emotional punch when you're not expecting it. Blah blah blah. That's done perfectly. Yeah, that's the way anthology films should be. They should carry a similar. Like, going back to Cloverfield again, the Cloverfield was great, I loved it, and 10 Cloverfield Lane was great, and it kind of carried the same theme almost through it, and then Cloverfield Paradise was fucking rubbish.
I think that was just a tacked on name. I'd love to see Abrams now, when he finishes up with the Star Wars thing, just grabbing Cloverfield back and doing something else with it.
Yeah, but even make a Western with
anything,
a sci-fi
you
team.
You could do anything, yeah, you could do fucking anything. Yeah,
I know that Overlord, I haven't seen it now.
No, it turns out, that was... I read that somewhere. I'm going to have to correct myself on that. I think I told you that was set in the Cloverfield universe, didn't I?
I had heard that independently of you as well.
Oh, Grant, I'm glad you did, because I did too, and that's why I said it, but it turns out that it's not. Or maybe it is and we just don't know yet. It could be that too. Like,
yeah, you know? But there wasn't any of this beat you over the head Cloverfield paradox shit.
Yeah, sure enough.
Otherwise, it would have been called Clover Lord, I suppose.
Was zing.
Yeah,
and on that note, just there's nothing better to be said tonight. Just fucking turn this off. We're done.
No, I loved 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, that was great.
And again, it didn't need to be directly related to Cloverfield universe. It's just an anthology. It's like
plus Mary Elizabeth Winstead
and John Goodman. No, John Goodman's a fucking legend. What a hero.
Oh, John Goodman's brilliant.
Is he dead?
Not at all. No,
Thank God.
he's actually. I think he lost a lot of weight. He's looking after himself.
Oh, did he? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
He's about like Wilford
he
Brimley.
always struck me as one of those men who look like they were born to look that way.
Yeah. It wouldn't look like John Goodman if you turn up all skinny.
Yeah,
it won't be
and in
John
fact, when you see him, it looks weird. I'm delighted he is, and I hope the man stays alive and has a really rich life right up until his fucking 190s, if that's even possible. But he doesn't look the same. He just doesn't.
Actually, do you know who's in bad times in El Royale? Actually, sorry to go back to that.
That's a tell. That's where
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, a bit of a legend there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and does some girl who I'd never seen before, and who was also brilliant.
Good stuff.
And there's some guy I'd never seen before, and he was also brilliant.
I need to see this film.
Yeah. What column was in it? Chris Hemsworth's in it.
Oh yeah.
He's exactly the opposite to Thor. So you've never seen him like this.
He's a demigod, then, is he?
He's no, he's just the world's worst man.
Okay.
Who else is in it?
What's the opposite to a hammer?
A sickle, I suppose, if you were in communist Russia.
Yeah. Is there an actual opposite to a hammer? Like a hammer nails something in, so I suppose
well, the other end of a hammer.
The other end of a hammer,
nails
because it
in,
pulls
so
the nails out. Yeah.
The hammer is an opposite.
So
to
that's why
itself.
he carries one of them around.
So the hammer is just a paradox.
The hammer is a paradox.
The hammer is a paradox. What about MC Hammer?
Another name of the episode.
MC Hammer, is he a paradox?
I think he's a really talented young man.
He's saying can't touch this.
He's a
You know, but he wants to be touched in his cargo pants.
He's a bright future, isn't he?
I like him.
He's alright.
Big shout out to MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Him and his
MC Hammer.
But yeah, check out that Bad Times at the El Royale. Again, you'll watch it and you'll say, Jesus, did Quentin Tarantino direct this? No way, he didn't as good. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So check it out.
There was one film that I was really looking forward to seeing ever since I read about it. It was a low budget-y kind of film, and the idea of it was that there was this it's called Headhunter, and he is a headhunter in it. Have you heard about this?
Is this the horror film where they kill him by shooting him in the head at the end?
No.
Okay.
He goes out and he hunts the heads of monsters.
No.
He goes out and he fights them, cuts the head off and brings them home.
This is a different one. I'll tell you about the other Headhunter in a minute.
I got to see it anyway. Excuse me, sorry. And I was really excited because the premise is like everything I want to hear. Like this, turns out that there is one particular monster that took his daughter. So he's dedicated his life just fucking killing monsters until he finds this particular monster and took his daughter and chops his head off. So I was kind of really excited about it. And he wears this kind of cool, kind of medieval looking helmet set in like one of those mystical kind of fantasy land, like, you know, like it's like a fucking episode of Dungeons and Dragons, for want of a better description. But it's basically it's nearly entirely set in his own little cottage, his own kind of stone built, bleeding typical. You can imagine a cliched fucking fantasy medieval cottage, like, you know what I mean, with the moss growing up the sides and the old wood creaky door and shit like that.
But like Kratos' place in God of War.
Pretty much, almost identical. But he got
shit hidden under the floors and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you hears like this alarm in the distance, like, and so you see him putting his fucking helmet on, and he's off out to fight the monsters. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fucking deadly. Then it cuts. He comes back into the gaff, and he's like, oh, he's all fucked, and there's like his arms hanging off, there's blood everywhere, and I'm going, what? Where's the what? Where's the fight? Turns out you don't see the fights. You just see him coming back with the heads. Like, I was like, okay, like, you know, I'm real disappointed, like, you know.
Godzilla.
So I said, no, because Godzilla gives you an ending. It gives you a fucking amazing ending. This doesn't give you any kind of event. Excuse me. But it's just after the whole film, and then he chops the head off this monster who can regenerate its blood or whatever, and it starts regenerating. It gets down into the water and it swims off in the water and it starts regenerating, and it comes back to fight him, and again you don't see any of the fighting. I can say, okay, this is, I didn't realise that this was an arty-farty film and they were trying to do something different by not showing the fights and keep it up, and just to show the aftermath of the fights. You can actually do all of that You can do all of that. You're just trying to do something different.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, it's not fucking working.
Yeah.
Because you're trying, instead of like actually creatively coming up with like, what can we do here where he goes out to fight the monsters, but we can do something different. What can we try here? Can we make it so as that, I don't know, every time he kills somebody, like he gets more and more wounded until the end of the film. He's so wounded and infected he can't fight the main monster. At the end, the main monster who he's chasing him actually comes in and kills him.
Yeah.
And I'll give a real doer ending to it, like, because we haven't gotten endings like that probably since the fucking Thing, actually. Now to square that circle, where you get these doer kind of like depressing endings. I want to see a film with a depressing ending. In fact, actually, you won't watch the film, and I don't think we've spoken about it. Have we? Or have we speak about Deadbeat at Dawn with?
We haven't spoken about it, but I have watched it.
Did we speak about that with Kevin Shields the other day? No, you haven't watched it, but
I hadn't watched it. No, I watched it that evening, I think.
There you go. There's a film.
Oh fuck me! Oh man, that's dirty. Oh man.
But isn't it good though?
Oh, it is. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There's moments in it where I'm kind of like, what the fuck?
He comes back and she's dead, and he's like, and drops her into a fuck
trash compactor.
trash compactor. You go, what?
And then there's Alpha. I was like,
it's that scene.
That's 15 minutes of what the fuckery, you know what I
It's
mean?
horrible. Like that is. And remember, I said to you there a while ago, I can always tell when like a set is done to look like a kip.
And yeah.
But when you actually film something
that's
in
a
a
fucking
kit,
crack house.
that is a crack house.
Yeah.
That was a full-on fucking. I'm sure that's been smashed up and broken down. There's probably a block of offices built on top of that ground right now, because that was rotten. That was.
And actually, Brawl in Cell Block 99 kind of looks like that. It looks great.
Yeah.
Like the cell blocks
are
look
horrible.
like a prison.
Yeah, they're horrible.
And even the first prison, the fridge or whatever it is, looks like a fucking prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not quite as dirty, but and that's another fucking great. Oh man.
But gritty films, I get exhilarated watching a gritty film because you just don't see many of them. Like, you know, like, and when you actually sit down and watch one, you go, "Oh, that was fucking great. That was great."
There's not a moment of levity in that film whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just even the start, and again, kind of spoilers for this. He loses his job at the start.
This is Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Brawl in Cell Block 99. Loses his job at the start. Like in the first maybe 10. It's in the first 5 minutes because the first scene is him pulling up in the car.
Yeah, he gets back early.
Yeah, he gets back early,
home early,
and the wife's knocking somebody else, and he smashes the fucking car up
with his fists.
Yeah.
Like, with his, and this isn't just like, you know, punching the car. This is like literally punching the fucking the rear view mirrors off, or the wing mirrors, punching them off,
pulling the bonnet off,
smashing the fucking windscreen with his fist, pulling the bonnet off, fucking just wrecking it.
It's realistic.
I actually made a joke at the time, and to the missus, she didn't get it because she never played Street Fighter 2 in the arcade. He got to smash the car up. I was like, he's doing Street Fighter 2 in the car, and she was like, what?
It's realistic though, because he takes a good few fucking swings to smash the window.
That's right, yeah, like, and then
Vince Vaughn isn't a small man, but he's
a big man.
He looks bigger in this than in any other film.
It's his aura, isn't it? His persona,
and even that,
because you know he's powerful, but he knows how to reel it in.
Yeah, and even when he comes in and he loses his job. I knew very little about the film, only name of it and kind of the rough outline that he ended up going to prison to Cell Block 99. I only knew the rough outline of it because I hadn't read the description or anything, and obviously I watched it on Netflix, so there's no box to read. And he pulls up, gets sacked, and he's just like, where's the bolt cutters? Because he can't get his fucking locker open. Doesn't even smash the locker open. I said to myself, he's just going to pull it off with his hand now. Yeah. He looks like he could, but he doesn't. Goes get the bolt cutters, and your man's like, oh, I'm sorry, I lost the job, whatever.
He's so particular, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's particular about things, but when he loses it, like when he smashes up the car, or when he loses it, he walks into that room toward the end, you remember? And you have them all sitting around and go, here he is, one fella doing weights, the other fella punching a punch bag, and he decimates them, like, in the most horrible, like, you remember, spoiler, when he stamps on your man's head and then literally pushes it along the ground till the skin comes off and you see the skull. Jesus Christ, while he's alive he's screaming and all the skin's coming off. He's going, Jesus.
It's a slow burn, but it moves fast, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. And in fairness, actually, the real violent scenes are dotted throughout, and they're not that long.
No.
But for what you see, they are fucking visceral. Like when he batters the guard and breaks his arm up, but smashes the arm up through his fucking skin.
That's your man out of The Wire.
Jesus Christ.
Chris out of The Wire. Who, to be honest with you, I remember watching The Wire, and I thought he was the most terrifying characters I've ever seen committed to film. And just watch him being decimated like that. But even the little bit between him and Vince Vaughn about joining the boxing club. Yeah. And he's just like, come on, I want you to join the boxing club. And look, man, I'm sorry about what I did. I only riled you up to get you in the boxing club. And I was like, then he starts fucking smashing him up.
Yes,
I was like, that's a bit of a call for you.
But you see why he's doing that.
You can understand his reasoning, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even the bad guys in it, they're not they are scumbags, but they're not real scummy scumbags. They're real kind of polite scumbags.
No, I don't agree with that at all. No. They're the worst of the worst.
No, they're the worst of the worst. What I mean is, they're not these pantomime villains, if you want to put it that way. They're like real fucking people.
Yeah, I suppose the main screw, the warden from the rotten jail, he was just
Don Johnson.
Dirty.
No, I don't mean him. I mean your man, the Mexican, or whatever the guy he did the drug running for.
Yeah.
I don't mean his friend. I mean the other Mexican guy that fucked him over. Oh yeah, Don Johnson just plays this fucking pantomime villain, but they're not pantomime villains. They're like real people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even the big fucking buff guy who's roided up, and he says, "I'm not doing the job with him. He's on something," and he clearly is. And even your man's voice like, very, very good.
But going back to Deadbeat at Dawn, what do you think of the nightmare scene?
Which was that?
He has the nightmare about your man fucking sticking the knife into his dead girlfriend's skull and popping the brains and shit out.
Don't remember that.
Did you not? It's one of the fucking most harrowing things I've ever seen.
I did watch it, but maybe I fucking blanked it from my memory.
You might have.
Where he was being dragged by the fucking car along the walls. Ugh. And the scene was in the fucking... The scene with the nunchucks. He just practices the nunchucks
in the graveyard. Well, he's fucking brilliant at them though, seriously.
Like, what the fuck? It was a great film.
Film, alright.
It was a couple of weeks ago now that I watched it, so it mightn't be as fresh in my memory as other things. But
I did try to watch another film that was heavily kind of marketed around Ireland and England, and I think Borden or Scannon or Heron or whatever had something to do with funding it. Redcon 1. Is it Redcon 1 or just Redcon? Like just Redcon. It's a zombie film. Yeah, that is the right approach to take. I'm so sick of cheapy fucking low budget films coming out with like ambition. This film has ambition. It might have ambition, but it's still shy.
Hell's Ground.
Yeah. But this film, it was being heavily marketed, and I think I remember it being spread around on Facebook a little bit, whatever. And I said it came onto Netflix. Yeah. So I watch it. I was 50 minutes in. I went, no, why am I watching this garbage? I've seen too much of this garbage. It's all the same. Yeah. The characters are shit. There's no proper characters. There's no good writing here. There's nothing about this is fucking good. And all the zombies are go and they run after you with their fucking white eyes, like, oh yeah, whatever. It's been done to death, and in fucking levels above how you've done it, even on a fucking lesser budget than what you have right now. When you look at what the budget of that film was, that might have been like what, 3-4 million. It might have been fucking 10 million. You wouldn't know. It's definitely up in the millions anyway. But you look at what like fucking George Romero did with what he had, like when Night of the Living Dead, and it's fucking brilliant. You look like fucking. It's really getting on me fucking wick now. When you look at like just a little bit of creativity, just do something different. Try something fucking different. Anything it might be, just try something different. Instead of just wasting this X amount of million down the pan with another piece of shit zombie film that will literally be forgotten about in the annals of time and will never be fucking remembered ever again because it's shit. Your film is shit. Yes, your argument might be, well, Joe, you haven't made a film. Yeah, you're right, you fucking haven't made a film. But that film is still shit. It doesn't fucking matter, like, you know what I mean? And the reason I'm getting so wound up now is because I've spent a lifetime watching shitty films, and I used to get a kick out of watching shitty films. I used to get a kick out of showing shitty films to my mates and everything else. But that's just fucking moronic now at this stage. I want to see good films. I want to see new ideas. I want to make a zombie film. Make a fucking good zombie film.
My problem is, and we had the same discussion about Hell's Ground, is you make a shitty film, right? We'll say The Room. I'm going to go for the Citizen Kane of shitty films, where you go The Room, and it's almost funny to laugh at how inept it is. And then you see a film like what was that other one I watched? One of Them, where it's not trying to be. It's trying to be this gothic horror, and it fails miserably, and it's shit. You know, just fucking give up. Don't do it again. But then people are fucking praising these things like Hell's Ground and saying, oh, it's innovative, it's Pakistan's first fucking horror film. Sure. Who gives a fuck? It's also their worst horror film.
Just because it's all of those things doesn't make it a good film.
Exactly, yeah. No,
but you look at what your man James Van Bieber did with, or Beber, I can't remember what it did with Deadbeat at Dawn. He literally had no money making that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that
looks like he did. It's a great fucking film.
It looks like it's recording on our not on our phones, but you know what I mean.
It's an 8mm or something like that.
Yeah, it's rough and ready, and the script is kind of just barely held together, and the acting isn't fantastic, but it doesn't have to be, because there's very few scenes where people are actually acting in it.
You've got all the creativity that fucking Sam Raimi had with Evil Dead 1, all the different camera angles he did and all that sort of stuff, and how he did them by spreading Vaseline on the wood planks to make the fucking camera run across the floorboards and shit, or the rafters and the beams and the roof and everything. It just, Like, and then you see that shite where it's all the same. All the fucking army guys are the same. They're all full of attitude and fucking. They're saying the same shit. It's not even cliche anymore. It's actually moronic. Cliches are actually kind of fucking charming to a degree. Like, you know, the whole I've got a bad feeling about this or whatever.
Or let's split up.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. They kind of charm at this stage. But when you're cliche, like when you're so cliched, it's become moronic. Then like. Oh, it gets on me tits.
We see, and people say that
Ridley Scott's a fucking cutting across. He's a subject of that, just on a much higher fucking level.
I'll absolutely, I fully agree with that. But budget, like people say, oh, you could be limited by budget. You know, like, and
you should never be limited by creativity.
No, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Originality is not born out of budget, right? Well, I'll go for an example here.
Great phrase. Originality is not born out of budget.
Yeah, take Jordan Peele, right? Take Jordan Peele, his 2 films. Get Out could have been made probably a lot cheaper than it was and still be as effective. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not. It all takes place in a very small location, very small cast of characters. Not much, blah blah blah. Yeah. Us couldn't be made with a smaller.
Don't give it away about us now.
No, I won't. But it couldn't be made with a smaller budget just because the scope of it is much larger than Get Out. But I'm just using those 2 films by that same filmmaker who, granted, he has access to the budget that he wants, but probably not as high a budget for his first film as for a second. Because he's a fucking comedian who wants to make a fucking original horror film. Yeah. I mean, fucking get the fuck out. Hollywood doesn't want to know about that. Do you know what I mean? But that's, you know, like, even you look at, say, the Avengers films, they're all doing something original. Most of them are doing something original, or doing something that's been done before, but in a new way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, and they had to do that, otherwise 20 odd fucking films all set around the same universe wouldn't have made any sense.
Exactly, but they need a big budget. But as I was saying there, the budget doesn't pay for the creativity. You buy good writers, good proven writers. You hire good proven writers. Yeah. But also hire someone that's not proven that's a good writer. Or write it yourself. If you have this vision, don't make like me.
Craig S. Zeller, who wrote fucking Brawl in Cell Block 99 and Bone Tomahawk, and just done those films himself. Like he's his dialogue, his fucking style.
And he wrote that. He wrote that himself, did he?
Oh yeah.
Oh right. Yeah. No, Jesus.
Pours everything into his films. Him. I haven't seen Dark Across Concrete yet.
Either I haven't seen Bone Tomahawk either. I'm definitely going to check it out now.
I forgot you haven't seen Bone Tomahawk. Jesus.
Definitely going to check it out.
Jesus,
even look, alright, okay, I'll go back to Quentin Tarantino. The one Quentin Tarantino film I love is Reservoir Dogs. Not made on a huge budget, so far as I know.
Reservoir Dogs wasn't. Yeah. Relative to budgets, it was a low budget.
And going back to what you're saying about the headhunter thing, that doesn't show the main focus of the story. It doesn't show the heist. It doesn't show any of it. But it works. You know what I mean? And you're saying headhunter trying to do something original. It's fucking not. It's just copying what Reservoir Dogs did, just in a different genre. You know what I mean?
I get exactly what you're saying, and you're right. But I also say about Headhunter, it's like they sat around and says, do you know what we do to make this different? We won't show him going out and fight any of the monsters.
Yeah.
We'll show his degradation in his character when he comes back after the fight. But it didn't, because he's coming back wrecked, and you don't know what he did. Did he fuck up? Did he fall off a cliff?
Yeah.
Did he not get to the monster and he tripped and fell and banged his head and then came back to the... You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Although he came back with the heads of the monster, so that kind of defeats that purpose. But you know what I'm getting at? What kind of fight was it like? You know? Did he go kill the monster, chop the head off in one swoop, and then fell off a wall on the way back and then smashed his face up?
It would have been worse if he came home and started describing it to his roommate or something.
His roomie's like a fucking...
nerd.
Yeah.
You're back, Tim. Oh, yeah.
He's just sitting there on his PC, like on Steam, playing fucking Age of Empires.
Come here. Right, before we wrap up.
How long are we in now?
We're in.
Alright.
Before we wrap up, what do you think of Game of Thrones?
I said this a few times. This is how I describe the last season of Game of Thrones. It's like drinking a glass of piss that tastes like caramel.
Really?
It had its good points, it had its bad points.
Could you not say about every season?
No, absolutely not. You know, the benchmark for kind of judging how good season 8 was against all of the previous seasons. And all the previous seasons to me were fucking fantastic. The storylines, the writing, the character development, everything about it was brilliant. And season 10 just wrapped it up way too quickly, and it just left a sour point.
I felt it was a bit quick, but I felt that people complaining are overly complaining, which people will do.
You're going to get that with the biggest TV show ever.
Yeah, people fans of franchise will always give out.
Yeah, no matter how you wrap that up, you were never going to please everybody.
Yeah.
But there was too many stupid scenes. The Battle of Winterfell was completely like devalued by the fact that when she took King's Landing, there's like fucking thousands of Unsullied standing there and thousands of Dothraki and the horses in behind all galloping around. You're going, did Winterfell actually happen? Were they not all fucking wiped out in Winterfell?
I'll tell you what I enjoyed about it. First of all, I'll tell you what I really did enjoy about the last episode specifically was the way it looked, the way it was shot. It looked weird to me. It's like they use a different fucking camera.
Well, the Battle of Winterfell was like fucking you were wearing 6 pairs of sunglasses.
Yeah, well, look, that's slightly different.
But did you, like the whole build up of the seasons? It wasn't about Cersei. It wasn't about King's Landing. It wasn't about even taking over the throne or whatever. It was always about Winter's coming. The Night King, and that was done in an episode. And I was like, right, now we're moving on. And then even the stupid. There was too many stupid scenes in it. Like there was so many stupid. Like
I would argue that throughout the whole run of Game of Thrones, there's been some fucking stupid scenes. That whole hour and a half spent in Dorne. I mean, that is the worst part of that TV show.
That was poor.
Country mile.
That was poor. I agree.
Way worse than anything that came before or after.
But that whole side of the story and that whole plot point wasn't that important to the Night King.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
So we have the Night King, we have the whole thing. The whole Battle of Winterfell was just so many silly things happening. All the Night King had to do was just stand back and just keep raising the dead all the time. They eventually would have just killed everybody. So I wonder what the fuck was going on there. Like, you know, anyway.
He's impatient, man.
But what should have happened with the Night King was the Night King and his army should have marched all the way down Westeros, and it should have been like, there they are outside fucking King's Landing, and you're going to have...
He's trying to go for Bran. That was the whole point of it.
Yeah, but bring Bran down. Okay, they recognise that. Get Bran as far away from the fucking front as you can. They didn't even do that. Like, they used him as bait.
Yeah, but that's what he said. That's what he wanted.
But why though? Like,
so
again,
we could get at the Night King.
No, I know that. But why did he want Bran?
I don't know.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous. They didn't explain it.
No, hang on.
It's just because Bran is like the keeper of the fucking the history of Westeros. Is why he wanted Bran. Why?
You see,
you're that powerful. So what? Why do you want the keeper of the history? Just let him fucking. He's a cripple. Leave him alone.
I don't mind that. But I tell you why, because I remember the episode where, you know, the Tyrells are killed in the Sept waiting for the trial.
Yeah. And
I felt to myself, what's your one's name? The Tyrell young one. That married the king.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah,
she's real nice. She went out and spoke to all the poor people.
I said to myself, her storyline's not over. I was sure of it. And then it was. Just killed her like that. You felt that Robb Stark's storyline wasn't over? Boom, dead. You felt like Ned's storyline wasn't over. They killed him within 8 hours of the fucking thing.
That was done well, though. That was done like shockingly and horrifically. Like, but when you're watching season, like the whole run up to this, and you're going, no, this is the end.
Yeah,
they were supposed to have like closure on a lot of things, which we didn't get. And again, the whole Battle of Winterfell was just, it was a complete damn squib. Like it didn't feel complete. It felt rushed.
It did. No,
the dialogue was really poor as well. Like, and even like sending fucking what's his face John up to the Night's Watch. Why is there a Night's Watch?
There's not there is a Night's Watch, but they sent up the Night's Watch so he could go live in the wild.
Yeah, but like Silverworm or whatever the fuck his name is wouldn't have allowed that.
Yeah, but he didn't know it was going to happen. How did John just walk through the walls and he's gone?
No, but like he wouldn't have allowed John to go to the Night's Watch if it wasn't still a Night's Watch. Like.
Oh yeah, there's still a Night's Watch.
But there's not. There shouldn't be.
I know there shouldn't be, but there is.
But that's stupid though.
Yeah, but you don't.
And what's the other thing that really annoyed me? Like the whole way Tyrion then fucking orates the end, effectively kind of instructs everybody what to do, even after he's standing on trial. Like, and like, why didn't John just say like fucking came in and fucking Drogo just picked her up and flew off. They're gone. I'll be the king now.
No, and you know what I really liked about it was that they didn't make Jon the king. This whole fucking Jon's a Targaryen shit didn't pan out. I fucking liked that. Like, there was some great scenes and everything else, but her turning mad like that as well and just torching the scene. I disagree, and then because she's burning people from fucking day one. She's standing there watching her brother getting molten gold thrown. No, that's fine. Only time she's ever torched people is a military decision. There was very little collateral damage with her killing people. Then she just goes in and tortures babies and fucking women and children. She killed all the masters and stuff. She didn't need to do it. But there was a reason to do that. There was a reason, but it's not right. There was also a reason to burn King's Landing.
Hold on a second. Breaking the shackles and freeing a lot of people from under the thumb of fucking rich and powerful people is what humanity is almost based on.
No.
We have been consistently fighting for our freedom for 50,000 years.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. At every step along the way, when she's going to murder somebody, be it by fucking dragonfire, be it by crucifying them, someone has said to her, it's probably not a good idea.
So fighting the Nazis was wrong then?
No, but they didn't crucify the fucking Nazis.
They
put them on trial. They put them on trial. There's a big difference. She gave them no trial. Boom, crucify these bastards.
But it's still the same though.
It's not the same because
the justice is the same. The reason for doing it is the same because they were tyrannical. Now they're dead. The Nazis were tyrannical, now they're dead. We fought a massive war to get rid of the Nazis.
Yeah.
But just going in and saying, like, okay, well, here's a full city full of just normal people, let's torch them. No, ridiculous.
No.
But it would have been accurate, cutting across. It would have been accurate if we had a sour descent into madness across maybe 2 seasons.
No, I think
that would have made more sense.
First of all, I do agree that the last season was rushed and her descent into madness, but the signs were always there. I'm fucking sorry. She crucifies all these masters with no trial. Just crucify them all. You're talking about the Nazis. At least they gave them fucking trial.
Hold on a sec though. She spent time in that city. She experienced how horrible those masters were.
She shouldn't be Judge Judy.
But she's a queen.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It's a different. If it's a different ruling system, it's not.
It's the same thing. You're arguing saying these masters shouldn't be allowed to do this. You're saying one person should be allowed to do this.
The error to your argument right here is that you're comparing killing the masters to killing women and children.
No, what I'm saying is...
No, you are though.
No, I'm not comparing that. What I'm saying is you can see her progression to that stage.
No, you can't.
Where there are people telling her at every stage...
You can't.
Every stage... No, my point is, it was rushed at the end, but at every stage, she's burning people, crucifying people. There's always been someone there to say, maybe not. You probably shouldn't.
And she's always listened to her counsel.
Yeah, but she's ignored them every single time.
No, she hasn't.
She crucified the masters.
She hasn't. She listened to John. If she didn't listen to John, she wouldn't have come over to fight the White Walkers.
No, what I mean... No, in terms of murdering people, which is... like doing extrajudicial.
You can equally say that. Well, she went in and saved thousands and thousands and thousands of people. She freed thousands and thousands. Of people.
She did.
She went up and saved the lads and they were fighting the White Walkers right there at the last second. They all bailed onto the dragon and flew off.
Absolutely.
So she can say. So the argument is invalid. Though you can't compare. You can't compare killing baddies and consistently killing baddies or military targets to just going and slaughtering like fucking a massive, big, huge fucking city filled with normal people. It doesn't work.
What you're saying is...
And she already agreed that when the bells rang, she'd know that there was a peaceful outcome to this. The bells were ringing and she fucking went and torched them anyway.
I know that.
So she clipped like that. You can't do that.
No. You're partly right and very much lotly wrong. If
you're not even partly right. You're just all wrong.
No. You can't compare... You can't say, oh yeah, look, we freed all these people, but we're just going to fucking crucify the guys who did it without trial, without anything. Just look, go on. One person makes this decision.
How many of them did she crucify? But again, you were still comparing killing masters who subjugated people for thousands of years to killing men, women, and children, which is why your argument is wrong.
I'm not comparing it. What I'm saying is, you can see the point that she is not this holier than thou woman who suddenly snapped.
But she never was, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, she has been consistently nasty when she needs to be along the way. But
she hasn't done anything like that. There was never any sign of her doing this.
I agree with the point that it was rushed at the end, and yes, she should have been given another, season, say, to flesh out the madness. Even I wouldn't mind it if they had said, right, here's the end of the White Walkers in season 8. By the way, there's a season 9 which is going to focus on Daenerys making her way.
That would have been perfect. If we had the White Walkers all of this season, it would have been brilliant.
Yeah, and that's fine. Look, again, I agree with that to a certain extent, but my point is that along the way, everyone's saying, "Oh, Daenerys she was never like that." Yeah, she was. She wasn't as completely insane as
she wasn't.
At the end.
She never slaughtered a whole fucking town of people.
But my point is,
of men, women, and children. Full stop. She never did that.
But then again, the other point is when a guy.
That's like saying, like, I'm going to go out and practice football, but next week I'm playing Champions League. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like,
yeah, I do take that on board. But again, when there was one scene where a guy came up with his daughter born, it's like she was like, "Yeah, okay, here's a few goats, and fuck off." You know what I mean?
She wasn't like that though. She was upset by that.
She was upset by that.
Yeah, she found it hard to handle.
So she tied up her dragons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but not before.
So she did have empathy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, then in season 8, she'd fucking zero empathy. Like, where the fuck did that? When did that happen? and like it's just the whole thing
Sorry,
about like.
just choked on my own rage there.
But like it goes beyond that. Then like the scene where the two dragons that are left are flying around, and then fucking what's his face? What's the baddie from the Iron Islands who was marrying or trying to marry Cersei? Duron or Furon or Buron or something like that.
Oh, Euron.
Euron. When
I'm sorry, when he was on the beach, that was
the worst scene ever. He just walks out of the fucking sea right while Jamie's right there at that very moment, just fucking emerges from the sea. The sea's parting.
Hold on a minute. The coincidence I can live with. I'm the man who killed Jamie Lannister. Fuck you. That's what I was talking about, pantomime villains. He's a pantomime villain.
Again, like there's Jamie crawling for the sword. He can barely move, like, and he gets the sword and manages it. But then he gets up and he walks through fucking caves and up into fucking. Anyway, but the thing that really annoyed me was we should end this now because me and you we'd argue in circles with this all along. Did you watch the Screen Rant about it though? Did you?
No.
It's class. But anyway, a horde of dragons are flying around and they're literally pinpoint accurate with their arrows. 2 arrows fucking penetrate the skull of the other dragon and send it to its death.
Yeah.
And yet when they assault King's Landing, none of the cunts can fucking shoot. And you just it's like the dragons are no match to these arrows, and all of a sudden those arrows are no match for the dragon. Like, but when you just torched the fucking ships weeks ago, like, you know. Anyway,
right. Before we go, what was the name of the guy you gave a shout out to earlier on?
Barry Evans.
Barry Evans, while we were on recording this, started following us on Twitter. So I sent him a tweet saying, any live questions, we're recording.
Did he ask one?
Barry has asked, what's the specialist topic tonight?
It's just kind of
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley. We have spoke more about Wilford Brimley tonight than we have anything else. But I think it was just kind of a get together after having the 3 weeks off.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a shout out to Anya Kelly as well. But it's only it's just suppose kind of getting us back into the swing of it. Swing, hey.
Yeah, we're recording late again this week because I was in the in-laws yesterday. We're back on track on Sunday next week.
We're aiming for Sunday this week, isn't it?
Yeah, let me just check the old calendar. Yeah, it'll be Sunday next week.
And Mr. Shields, if you're listening, part 3
soon.
The search for Kevin Shields.
But I have to record early.
Return of Kevin Shields.
We'll have to record early on the 16th if you don't mind. Early in the day.
Yeah, where do you think?
Because I have a fucking operation the next day, so I have to prep for that. Yeah.
What are you getting done? Enlargement, is it? I didn't think you needed to get that
reduction.
Oh, it's too heavy as you're getting fucking lower back problems.
That's it. I can't find socks big enough, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you're getting at. It's I'm cursed with that same problem.
I know, yeah, it's a pain in the fucking hole, or a pain in somebody else's hole, as the case may be. Ew.
And on that note,
yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Absolutely. Same time next week. Same dad channel, same dad time.
Bye.
Bye. How do I turn this fucking thing off?